All right, so I'm going to be doing my persuasive speech, and here is my audience. All right, perfect. This is my presentation aid. So I'm going to be doing my speech on public school uniforms. Uniforms are creeping into public schools all over the country, and they are sometimes very controversial issues for parents, students, and teachers. There are pros and cons to schools requiring their students to wear uniforms. And even though many don't agree with them, it is vital that schools enforce students to wear uniforms as it is cost efficient, it increases academic scores, and keeps campuses safe. So the first pro is most people do not realize that school uniforms actually save families a lot of money. School shopping can be a super miserable task, and clothes are super expensive. Julie Underwood stated in her article that middle school students prefer brand name clothing right down to undergarments like socks. And many families don't have that kind of money to purchase that clothing, much less go out and spend a significant amount on the brand names. There are jeans that can easily cost over $100. Underwood also stated in her article that families are spending a considerable amount of money on brand name clothes, and the kids outgrow them pretty fast. Middle school age students grow at a rapid rate and continue to grow throughout the year, so you could be buying multiple different brand name clothes just in 1 year. If the school enforced uniforms, a student would only need 2 or 3 sets of clothes, and then you could wash them. And washing is simple, and no one would ever even know that they're wearing the same thing several times a week because everyone would be wearing the same thing. All right, and another pro is people don't realize that there's a link between wearing school uniforms and student grades. When you have high standards, such as everyone meeting a uniform expectation, students will rise to meet that expectation as well. And a study by Bowman and Kriskova stated that test scores and students' behavior link to discipline. So when behavior issues and distractions are taken out of the learning environment, you have better performing students. Students go to school to learn, and clothes can be a big deal to school-age children. And some students can't afford the latest brands, which we talked about, and are often sad and withdrawn because they don't fit in with the other kids. It's not fair to these students to have to worry about that when they're going to school. Not only do uniforms save family monies and increase student scores by decreasing distractions, they also help keep school campuses safe. It's crucial for school campuses to be as safe as possible, and Underwood stated that when students are all wearing the same shirt and colors, it is easy to spot visitors. So being able to detect unwanted visitors is super important due to the increase in violence in school shootings. Any unwanted visitor can easily be spotted if everyone is in school uniform, which is a big plus. And research has shown from an article by Home that when students are all in the same uniform, that bullying is actually decreased as well. So they're less likely to be bullied by others because everyone is wearing the same uniform. And Home also stated that 60% of bullying is because of clothing. And that goes back to the brand name as well. There's an article entitled "Just Say No to School Uniforms," and a lot of people still don't think that school uniforms are the best thing, even though they can keep schools safe and save families money. Um, there are parents and students that are very angry at the thought of uniforms being enforced at their school, and they feel that uniforms restrict students being able to express themselves because they're being forced to wear a specific type of clothing. And they believe that this dress code violates the instruction time and it interrupts the learning environment. And it's easy to see their point in all this, but Julie Underwood kind of comes back with an argument for that, stating that there are other ways to express yourself other than the way that you dress, your hairstyle, jewelry, and any off-campus events. Another thing she says is school is for academics and not exactly expressing oneself. There's plenty of opportunities for students to dress how they want, and safety is much more important than that. In conclusion, public schools should require uniforms on campus. They will help keep schools safe while saving families money, and students' test scores will increase. School violence will decrease. Schools just can't lose when enforcing a strict dress code. There are way too many positive effects to be ignored, and although many people don't like the idea of uniforms, providing a safe learning environment where students can learn should always be the number one priority. So here is my conclusion statement. Conclusion, and here is my